Chelsea sat in the staff room, wincing in pain from her bruised knees. Helena had purposely put her leg in front of Chelsea, causing her to trip and hurt herself. While she worried about getting fired, Rita walked in and asked, "Chelsea, are you okay?" Chelsea nodded and replied, "Hey Rita, I'm fine. Thanks for asking." Rita walked closer and added, "There's a first aid kit in one of those drawers. Let me get some bandages and alcohol for your knees. You don't want them to get infected." Chelsea nodded and let Rita help her. After Rita cleaned her bruises, Chelsea was called over the intercom to the manager's office. When she arrived, Clyde Peters, the manager, sat at his desk. "Hello, sir." "You called for me?" Chelsea said, but Clyde only stared at her with a serious expression. Oh no, Chelsea thought. I'm going to get fired on my first day here. Since Chelsea wore a knee-length black skirt, the bandages on her knees were visible. When Clyde saw them, his brow furrowed. "Are you okay? Does it still hurt?" Chelsea was surprised. She looked around to see if anyone else was there or if he was truly concerned about her. "Sir, are you talking to me?" she asked, feeling foolish for asking. Clyde rolled his eyes. "Is there someone else in the room with us?" Chelsea felt embarrassed. Am I really this stupid? She thought, clutching her blazer. "No, sir." "I'm fine," she replied. Clyde took a deep breath. "Miss Powers, it's your first day and you're already causing trouble. Do you know why I won't fire you today?" Chelsea's eyes widened in anticipation. "No, sir." He cleared his throat and explained. "Today, you helped a woman pick out an outfit for her daughter. She left a very positive review of your service. It's rare for someone on their first day to get such glowing feedback. So I won't fire you, but since I don't want to upset Miss Richards, I won't have you working at the front desk anymore. You'll move to the inventory and be responsible for keeping track of stock levels and replenishing items. That's the best I can do for you right now." Chelsea felt relieved that she wasn't being fired. "Thank you, Mr. Clyde." He then told her to go home early and take care of her knees. Meanwhile, Helena and Ken left the shopping mall, both in a bad mood. Ken kept thinking about Chelsea and how Helena had made her fall. His anger grew as he thought about her bruised knees. Why did I feel so angry when Chelsea called me Mr. Roberts? Do I really miss her calling me love or baby? Helena, unable to take his silence anymore, shouted, "Ken, what's wrong with you? Why is your mood suddenly so bad? We came here to shop for the baby, but as soon as you saw Chelsea, everything changed. Don't tell me you're in love with her." Ken turned to Helena, glaring at her. "What are you talking about? Why are you even bringing her up?" Helena couldn't handle Ken's attitude and started to cry. "Ken, why are you doing this? Today was supposed to be a bonding day for us and our baby. But you've ruined everything because of that girl, Chelsea." Seeing Helena cry softened Ken's expression. He wiped her tears and said, "Honey, you know being upset isn't good for you or the baby. Don't worry, I don't love Chelsea. I want you and our baby. We're getting married soon and all of this will be behind us. It's been a long day. Let's go to your favorite restaurant and eat your favorite food." He leaned in and kissed her cheek, placing a hand on her belly. Helena stopped crying and smiled at him as she leaned on his shoulder. "Hey Derek, we're not going home. Take us to Helena's favorite restaurant," Ken called. Derek nodded and they drove off. After her hectic day at work, Chelsea returned home. She knocked on the door and Rachel shouted from inside, "Melinda, if that's you again, I swear I'll break your neck." When Rachel opened the door and saw Chelsea, she froze. "Chels, why are you home so early? It's still 5 p.m. and you said you'd be back by 9. Chelsea stepped inside and Rachel closed the door. When Rachel noticed Chelsea's bandaged knees, her eyes widened. "Oh my gosh. Chels, what happened to your knees? Are you okay?" Chelsea sat on the couch and replied, "Don't worry, Ratch. It's not serious. Just a little bruise, I slipped and fell." She knew if she told Rachel the truth, it would cause a huge fuss. Rachel rolled her eyes. Chels, I've known you for years, and I can tell when you're lying. Just tell me the truth. Did someone bully you at work? Are your colleagues picking on you? With all the questions Rachel was asking, Chelsea felt overwhelmed. Okay. I'll tell you the truth, she said with a sigh. Rachel crossed her arms and insisted, Start talking and don't leave out any details. Chelsea chuckled. Girl, you're such a drama queen. How did I become friends with you? Rachel just rolled her eyes again. Chelsea then explained what happened, and Rachel reacted with disbelief. What? Those two should move to another planet. They're so evil. By the way, guess who showed up at my door today? Chelsea looked curious. Who? That evil witch Melinda. She came here pretending to be nice and asking about you. I couldn't stand her fake act, so I told her to leave, Rachel explained. Chelsea was surprised. But why would Melinda be looking for me? Did she wake up on the wrong side of the bed? My brother must have sent her. Anyway, she's the least of my worries now. I just need to shower and rest. Chelsea headed to her bedroom. Meanwhile, at Lionel's house, Melinda waited on the couch for her husband to return. When she heard the door unlock, she rushed to greet him. As Lionel walked in, he acted as if she wasn't there, ignoring her completely. Melinda hurried up and hugged him from behind, crying, Honey, please don't ignore me anymore. I'm tired of this silent treatment. I realize now that I haven't treated Chelsea well. I'll do whatever it takes to bring her back. I just don't want to lose you. Lionel's heart softened, but he didn't show it. He turned to face her but said nothing. Melinda dried her tears and asked him to sit down. Lionel sat quietly without speaking. You're probably wondering why I dislike Chelsea, Melinda said, wiping her eyes. She chuckled slightly and added, I'm scared of her. I fear she might influence you to kick me out. I know I shouldn't, but I've been weak and tried to control her. I see now that she respected me out of love for you. With a pained smile, she said, I used to have an older sister named Elizabeth. She married a wealthy man whose younger sister was really mean. The man loved his sister so much, but she lied about my sister and made him believe terrible things. He would yell at Elizabeth and sometimes hit her, even when she was pregnant. One day, his sister faked a fall down the stairs, making it look like Elizabeth pushed her. The man thought Elizabeth was trying to kill her, and he locked her away until she gave birth. Sadly, Elizabeth and the baby died from complications. Tears fell from Melinda's eyes as she spoke. When I met you, I saw how close you were to Chelsea and how much you loved her. I promised myself I would never be a victim like my sister. I realize now you are nothing like her husband. Please forgive me. I've let my fears cloud my judgment. Lionel, who had previously looked angry, now felt pity for Melinda. He reached out and wiped her tears away. Honey, why didn't you tell me about your fears? You should have explained what was going on. We're a team, remember? As much as I love Chelsea, you are my wife, and I love you and little Fiona even more. I'm nothing like your sister's husband, and Chelsea is a kind and caring person. Melinda looked up at him. Can you ask Chelsea to come over so I can apologize? I tried to find her today, but Rachel wouldn't let me in. Lionel hugged Melinda and told her not to worry. He took out his phone and called Chelsea. Hey Chels, can you come over tomorrow? Melinda wants to talk to you. Please don't say no. We'll be waiting for you. Will Chelsea go to Lionel's house? And will she be able to forgive Melinda once she hears her story? After the call, Chelsea felt a bit worried. Why would Lionel ask me to come over tomorrow? And what does Melinda have to say? Her coming here today was definitely not a coincidence. Anyway, I'll go there tomorrow to see what she wants, Chelsea muttered to herself. Rachel, noticing Chelsea's expression, asked, Baby girl, why do you look worried? Chelsea took a deep breath and replied, I'm going to my brother's house tomorrow. He asked me to come. Rachel nodded and said, "Okay. Just be careful and don't let Melinda bully you. If she tries, she'll have to deal with me." She flexed her arms like a boxer. Chelsea couldn't help but laugh. "Girl, your new title should be Rachel the Mixed Martial Arts Fighter." They both laughed, and Rachel added playfully, "You know you're good at martial arts, but you let people push you around. You're wasting that talent." Chelsea rolled her eyes and stuck her tongue out at Rachel. The next day, Chelsea arrived at Lionel's house around noon. When she walked into the living room, Lionel and Melinda were sitting on the couch, and little Fiona was in her swing. Chelsea rushed over to the swing and picked up Fiona. "Hey, little nugget. I've missed you so much." She hugged Fiona, who giggled and cooed in response. Lionel stood up and walked over with a smile. "Do I get a hug too?" "I've missed you, Chels." Since Lionel had just returned from Bedworth, he hadn't seen his sister in a while. Melinda sat on the sofa with a guilty look, unable to meet Chelsea's gaze. Chelsea noticed Melinda's expression and greeted her. "Hello, Melinda." Melinda looked at her and stuttered, "Hey, Chelsea." "Welcome." Chelsea sat down next to Lionel and asked, "Lenny, you asked me to come over. Is everything okay?" Lionel cleared his throat and replied, "Chels, I know Melinda has done a lot of terrible things to you. I understand why you're so angry. I won't force you to come back home, but please listen to what she has to say." Chelsea took a deep breath and nodded, "I'm all ears." Lionel gave Melinda a look, encouraging her to speak. Melinda cleared her throat, looking nervous as she began. "Chelsea, I know I've treated you horribly, and I regret it. I've done so many things that I'm not proud of." She explained her past experiences between her sister and her husband. "I know that doesn't excuse my actions, but please find it in your heart to forgive me. Please come back home." Chelsea's eyes filled with tears as she heard Melinda's words. She handed Fiona to Lionel and walked over to Melinda, taking her hands. "It's okay, Melinda. I forgive you. Let's not dwell on the past. We are family, and family sticks together." Chelsea hugged Melinda, who broke down and cried, "Thank you, Chelsea." Lionel's heart swelled with joy as he watched his wife and sister mend their relationship. He whispered, "Finally." After they broke the hug, Chelsea said, "Lenny, there's something I want to tell you both." Lionel and Melinda looked at each other, then Lionel responded, "Okay, we're listening." Chelsea took a deep breath before saying, "I won't be coming back to live with you too." Lionel's brow furrowed and a hint of sadness crossed his face. "Why, Chels? Everything between you and Melinda has been resolved. Why don't you want to come home?" Chelsea chuckled gently. "No, it's not about Melinda. I've been thinking about this for a while now. I'm leaving Wolverton." Lionel's eyes widened in surprise. "But why, Chels? This is your hometown. Where will you go? Who do you know out there?" Looking at him lovingly, Chelsea replied, "Lenny, I'm 24 years old. I can find my way. I'll be moving to London after graduation. Uncle Edward has already sent my resume to a contact there. I'll be leaving after graduation." Lionel raised his eyebrows. "But why London? There are great companies in Wolverton. With your school performance, you could find a good internship here." Chelsea responded, "I know that, but after everything that happened with Ken, I want a fresh start somewhere new. Plus, Myra Roberts convinced her father to blacklist my name from all the major PR firms here, so staying won't help my career." When Lionel heard this, he clenched his fists in anger. "Don't worry, Lenny. I've got this. By the way, can I have Dad's guitar?" Lionel looked at her, intrigued. "Why do you need Dad's guitar? You haven't played it in over 5 years." Chelsea nodded, nostalgia in her voice. "Yes, it's been a long time. I want to visit the Halo Mountains one last time before I move to London. I'd like to take the guitar with me for a 3-day camping trip like we used to do with Dad. Before their father passed away, he used to take Chelsea and Lionel camping in the Halo Mountains every summer. It was a cherished tradition." But after his death, neither of them had gone back, and it had been 5 years. But Chelsea, how can you go there alone? Could be dangerous. Plus, it's spring and the rain might make it harder to get around. Chelsea laughed lightly. Come on, Lenny, I know those mountains well. I know every corner of that place. Have you forgotten how good I am at finding my way? And the Halo Mountains aren't known for wild animals. Plus, I have a black belt in martial arts, so I can take care of myself. Melinda's mouth dropped open in shock. Chelsea, are you really a black belt? Lionel raised an eyebrow, now smiling slightly. Mel, you'll only learn these things if you're close to Chelsea. She's actually a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. Anyway, let me grab Dad's guitar. Melinda sat on the couch, still in shock. Lionel stood up and went to the storage to retrieve the guitar. When he brought it out, Chelsea's eyes filled with tears. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she caressed the guitar. Dad, I miss you so much. I wish you were here. As she cried, she began playing their favorite song, A Dance with My Father Again. She remembered how her dad would play this for her while she sang along, wishing the moment would never end. He had always told her, Little Chels, whenever you miss me, just play our song and I will come running to you. As tears flowed down her face, Lionel approached and embraced her. I miss Dad so much too. As she buried her face in Lionel's chest and wept, he rubbed her back gently. Remember, he's always in your heart. 2 weeks had passed since Chelsea reconciled with Melinda. It was 3 days before their graduation. Chelsea was sitting in the living room with Rachel. Ratch, I can't believe we're finally going to be postgraduate students. No, let me rephrase that. We're going to be master's degree holders in public relations. They both burst out laughing hysterically, like braying donkeys choking on water. Chels, your dream of graduating as a valedictorian has finally come true. I'm so proud of you, sis, Rachel said. Chelsea gave a bittersweet smile. I really wish my dad could have been here to see me succeed at this milestone. She chuckled slightly and continued. Anyway, let's go out tonight and have some fun. Just you and me. Rachel perked up. Finally, you're taking the initiative to have fun. I'm all in, baby girl. The next day, Chelsea received a message from Mr. Edward, asking her to come to his office. She hurriedly showered and left for school. In Mr. Edward's office, he was on the phone but gestured for Chelsea to have a seat. After he finished the call, he greeted her warmly. Hey, Chelsea. Greetings, Uncle Ed. You asked me to come see you, Chelsea responded. Mr. Edwards smiled and opened a drawer, pulling out a brown envelope. In here are the details for an internship at one of the top tech subsidiary companies in London called Maximilian Holdings. I was able to secure a spot for you there. Chelsea's eyes lit up with excitement and she exclaimed, Thank you, Uncle Ed. I'm so grateful. Mr. Edwards' lips curved into a smile. I've done my part as a reference. You've been accepted as an intern. The rest is up to you. If you perform well, they might hire you full-time after the internship. My niece Rebecca is the HR officer there and she'll take good care of you. Chelsea thanked Mr. Edward profusely as she left his office, floating on cloud 9. While waiting for the bus, she looked up Maximilian Holdings on her phone. Oh my goodness, they've won so many awards, including the Queen's Award for the Most Outstanding Tech Innovators of the Year. She could barely contain her excitement. Meanwhile, at Hannigan Lodge, Rachel had gone home for a visit. Her parents, the Hannigans, were wealthy and modern, never imposing a partner on their only child. They wanted Rachel to find someone she truly loved. Rachel had an agreement with her family that she could live her best life and travel as much as she wanted, but after graduation, she would start managing the family's company, Hannigan Global. As fate would have it, Rachel had fallen in love with Jade Ferrady from a prominent family. The Hannigans were overjoyed when they found out, as the two families were longtime friends. During lunch, Rachel's father, Rogers Hannigan, cleared his throat. Hey, princess, now that your graduation is in 2 days, why don't you move back home? You know you're supposed to start working at the company next week. Have you forgotten our agreement? Rachel, who had been eating quietly, felt a chill run down her spine. She had always dreaded taking over her father's company, even though she loved her parents. But, Dad, I can't move in yet. You know Chelsea is living with me. Can we please wait until she's sorted herself out before I come back home? Rachel looked at her mother, Serena, with pleading eyes. Serena placed a hand on her husband's arm and said lovingly, "Honey, I think we can give her a little more time for Chelsea's sake. You know she's been an amazing friend to our daughter." Roger sighed and looked at his wife with a smile. "You know I can never say no to you." He turned to Rachel. "You can have a little more time until your best friend gets herself situated. After all, Chelsea has always been like a daughter to us." Rachel's face lit up and she rushed to her dad, kissing his cheek. "Thank you, Daddy. You're the best." On graduation day, the auditorium was filled with students and their families. Chelsea was saddened that her brother couldn't make it due to a hospital emergency. She wished her father could have been there to see her valedictorian speech and receive her medal. Suddenly, Chelsea heard someone call her name. She turned to see Melinda, pushing Fiona's stroller and holding a bouquet of pink and white carnations. "Congratulations, Chelsea. We're so proud of you. I hope you get everything you've always wished for." Chelsea, who had been feeling down, rushed to hug Melinda. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she said, "Thank you, Melinda. I thought no one would come today." Melinda chuckled, patting Chelsea's back. "Have you forgotten we're family? And as a family, we'll always be here for you. Even though Lionel couldn't make it, you still have Fiona and me." Chelsea smiled through her sobs. "You're right, Melinda. We are family." A week after graduation, Chelsea was preparing for her 3-day camping trip to the Halo Mountains. The day before she left, Rachel, who had moved back home, called her. "Hello, baby girl. Are you all packed for your trip? I miss you already. These 2 days without you have been crazy." Chelsea chuckled. "Come on, Rachel, now you have to fulfill your end of the bargain with your parents. Don't worry, you'll be fine. And by the way, I won't be bringing my phone. I just want to enjoy these 3 days in nature without technology." Rachel sighed. "I really hope you take care of yourself. I'll miss you, sis." After they ended the call, Chelsea finished packing and was ready to head to the Halo Mountains. What awaits Chelsea in the Halo Mountains? Will it be danger or a breakthrough? It was finally the day Chelsea was leaving for the Halo Mountains. At 7 in the morning, she was fast asleep when her alarm suddenly blasted, waking her from her dreams. Dazed, she sat up, stretched, and smiled. She was excited about her trip. After a quick shower, she stumbled into the kitchen for breakfast, making a light meal of cinnamon toast and mint tea to avoid upsetting her stomach during camping. Chelsea preferred tea over coffee. While she was eating, her phone rang. It was Lionel calling. With her mouth full, she answered, "Hey Lenny, what's up?" Lionel yawned on the other end. "Hey Chels. Are you all set to go?" Chelsea replied, "Yes, Lenny. I really wish you could come with me on this trip. But I know Dad will be with me in spirit." Lionel sighed, "I know. Just take care of yourself. I just got back from work this morning and wanted to call you before you left." Chelsea thanked him for calling, and they chatted for a few more minutes before saying goodbye. She had packed all her camping gear and checked her list one last time. "Oh no, I forgot the wine I promised to bring," she muttered to herself. Even though Chelsea didn't tolerate alcohol well, she wanted to step out of her comfort zone and bring a bottle of wine. Her father often said that wine connected people with nature. He used to bring wine and his guitar on camping trips, believing that music made the experience even more special. Chelsea wanted to enjoy that combination in nature one last time. Knowing the city center wasn't far, she rushed to the grocery store to buy some wine. It didn't take her long to get there and back, and when she returned, it was already 10 o'clock. The taxi she called arrived shortly after she got back. She put on her boots, grabbed her sturdy rucksack, and set off for the Halo Mountains. Chelsea arrived at the Halo Mountains around 2 in the afternoon. Though it had been 5 years since her last visit, everything looked the same. Paths were familiar, except they were a bit slippery from the morning rain. Luckily, her sturdy boots held up well. As she hiked to the leeward side of the mountain, she felt the refreshing, cool air on her face. The tall trees seemed to greet her, and the wet grass sparkled like it had just rolled out of bed. Once she reached the leeward side, she found a great spot to set up her tent, noticing 2 other campers about 700 feet away. Wow, there are other campers here at this time of year. I thought people only came during the summer. At least I've got neighbors, Chelsea said with a chuckle. She took a deep breath, tied her hair up, and set her rucksack down near a small stream. Peaceful atmosphere felt so different from the noise and pollution back in Wolverton. Chelsea felt truly at peace. Since she left her phone and other electronics at home, she was determined to enjoy the serene surroundings without distractions. The next day, on the second day of her camping trip, Chelsea woke up to the sound of birds chirping and the gentle flow of water from the stream. It was a beautiful way to start the day. The sun was shining, and the ground from the previous day's rain was drying up. As she stepped out of her tent, she noticed a lovely couple camping nearby. The man lovingly cautioned his partner, "Be careful, honey. I don't want you to slip and hurt yourself." His partner smiled back and said sweetly, "Don't worry. If I do slip, I know you'll catch me." Chelsea watched them from a distance, a smile creeping onto her face. But as she observed their love, her thoughts drifted to memories of her relationship with Ken. She recalled the promises he made when they first started dating. Flashback to 8 months earlier, Chelsea was excited to be dating an amazing guy like Kenneth Roberts. One day, while lounging at home, her phone rang. It was Ken. "Hello, love. Where are you?" he asked. "Hi, Ken, I'm at home," she replied shyly. "Why don't you call me something sweet like baby or love?" Ken said playfully. Chelsea blushed. "Okay, baby. Is that better?" "That's perfect," Ken said. "By the way, tomorrow is Saturday and I'd love to invite you over to my place. Is that okay?" Excited to spend time with him, Chelsea replied, "Sure. I'll come over tomorrow." The next day, when she arrived at Ken's house, she was amazed by how beautiful it was. His personal chef, George, had prepared an array of delicious food. "Welcome to my home, love. I hope you like it here," Ken said, kissing her softly on the cheek. Chelsea stared in awe at the beautiful house. "It's amazing, baby." After having a delicious lunch together, Chelsea admired Ken's aquarium in the living room. "Ken, your home is truly beautiful." He hugged her from behind, saying, "One day it'll be our home." Chelsea smiled sheepishly. As they embraced, she leaned back, closing her eyes, and said softly, "I love you so much, Ken. Even the heavens know that I do. I can't imagine life without you." Ken chuckled, "I know, my love." He then kissed her neck and began to touch her gently. His hands moved from her waist to her twin peaches. She gasped. Chelsea's body felt electric, and she responded with a soft moan. "Ken, wait a second." He immediately pulled back, looking concerned. "Are you okay? Is something wrong?" Chelsea felt shy and looked down. "No, it's just that I've never." Ken looked at her. "Are you still a virgin?" he asked gently, lifting her chin to meet his gaze. Feeling extremely embarrassed, she nodded. Ken smiled. "Don't worry. I promise to be the first and only man for you. I'll always protect you. So, do you want us to go further?" Feeling eager, Chelsea nodded. "No, Chelsea. I want to hear you say it." Chelsea summed up all the courage she had and said in a voice that sounded like a whisper, "I want you, Ken." And with that, they shared a passionate moment that felt magical and intense. Chelsea was jolted back to the present, a bitter lump in her throat. She laughed painfully and thought, Chelsea, you were foolish to love someone like Ken who didn't love you back. How could you have missed all the signs? Tears rolled down her cheeks as she wiped them away. This isn't why I'm here. It's okay to cry, but I need to leave these bad memories behind on this mountain and move on. With that, Chelsea put on her boots and walked into the nearby bushes to gather dry sticks for a fire. What's next for Chelsea at Mount Halo? Keep listening to find out.